What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. I wanted to talk real quick about the Celtics Wizards game from last night. Jayson Tatum dropping 50 in the win, and you know the I'm gonna start here with the third quarter, the beginning of the second half, because that's when the game really got out of hand. The Wizards were up at one point. You see Kemba Walker here hitting a three, and he showed up big time yesterday, giving the Celtics that second score outside of Tatum, and he played really well, especially knocking down a few threes in that third quarter. But I think the one thing I wanted to point out was the defense of the Wizards. Now, the Wizards weren't a good defensive team throughout the season. They definitely improved a little bit towards the end of the season, and that's only because at the beginning of the season they were almost historically bad. But you see here, I mean, some of it's effort, some of it's just miscommunication. But there's a screen here set by Robert Williams. Russ gets caught up, and Alex Len is just way too late hedging this, right? Doesn't really hedge it until Kemba's already ready to go up in a shot, and at that point it's too late. And not even a contest at the end of the day, so gets the three to go. Even on offense, the differences in the looks that both teams were getting was very, visible. Washington had to work a lot for their shots, a lot of iso ball. This action here is actually really good. I love what they do here. So Alex Len is setting a screen for Bertans. Bertans actually reads this and goes for the cut, right? So he has to, he makes Evan Fournier have to decide on who he's going to guard. He decides to stop what could be a layup, so he goes with him. Russ makes the correct read here and passes it to Neto. And instead of Neto shooting this, Fournier actually ends up coming here and Kemba Walker too. So now there's two guys on Neto, which means Bertans is wide open. And Bertans, who even after that huge contract he got last night, he played really bad last night. And look, I get Bertans as a shooter, but you have to read the floor here. And instead of making the right read and just cutting here, getting a wide open dunk, he tries to extend this out to the 3-point line, and it just causes, it ends up being a turnover for the Wizards. You see another play here where Kemba gets a wide open three. Alex Len gets contests a little bit. Marcus Smart with a really nice screen here. Marcus Smart is actually one of the better off-ball screen setters, especially for guards in the league, something he does really well, especially with his physicality. Gets right into Russell Westbrook. I don't know if this is a miscommunication or effort, but again, just nobody getting out to Kemba, right? Marcus Smart is, for some reason, Bertans is also occupied here, even though there's no need for him to be. You have Tristan Thompson also setting the screen, and Kemba gets another pretty good look, and especially a better look considering he just hit one. And you can see the frustration and miscommunication right there, with Russ kind of just putting his hands up. The team's already down, and look, I've been a vocal Russell Westbrook fan, but you look at this Washington Wizards team, it's not like they have a lot of leaders. And on top of the fact that, again, they're not a good defensive team, it's easy for a team like this to just implode. And that's exactly what you saw in the third quarter of last night's game. And this kind of just told the story, of the game, but especially that third quarter. Again, Jayson Tatum starting to feel it. And look at how much attention, he's taking away from his teammates. Bradley Beal. This all started because Neto somehow ended up on Tatum. So the Wizards, if this was just Russell Westbrook or Bradley Beal on Tatum to begin with, maybe they don't commit this hard. But Russell Westbrook trying to go for a steal. Alex Len is on his man, but still looking. And Bertans is, cheating over. So you have five guys on the Wizards really looking at Tatum and at least hedging over a little bit. And that gives, Kemba Walker a wide open three. And again, the quality of looks that Boston's getting way better than what Washington's getting. Also props to, Jayson Tatum. Shout out to Jayson Tatum for continuing to improve as a playmaker. It's something that he can still get better at. It's not like he averages a lot of assists. It's not like he's not a willing passer, but it's something he can continue to get better at. And something that the Celtics badly need, because between Kemba, Jayson Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, all three of those guys are score first guys. None of them are going to be pass first playmakers, but if a guy like Jayson Tatum can continue to improve on that end, it's only going to make himself much more dangerous, but also that team as a whole a whole lot better. So you have a situation where Tatum, again, he's heating up, and he's going to get friendly bounces. He's on fire. He's going to make tough shots. But the thing is, like you see here, Ish Smith on Jayson Tatum, and this Celtics for a lot of the night, part of it was good coaching, but also I think part of it was knowing that Washington switches on a lot of things. Part of that also stems from not only strategy, but also communication and effort. But they switched a lot yesterday, and Jayson Tatum, who's a guy who can score inside, outside, has a whole array of moves, gets it to go. Again, over the smaller and shorter Ish Smith. So this play right here is an example of a play where it's not effort. Like the Washington Wizards defense tried hard. Just again miscommunication though, and it's just really bad defense because Kemba. I know he's hit a couple of threes, but two guys come out here. Russell Westbrook is supposed to be on Fournier, but he sees what's going on here, so he has to make a tough decision. And the Wish Smith ends up trying to get out there, but it's too late. Again, Tatum already feeling it. The thing I don't like, again, I'm a Westbrook fan, but if he's not gonna go through with Fournier, then he needs to just go out to Tatum, and then you can worry about, you can worry about Fournier later. But this is at a point now where if you let this roll, he's not guarding anyone. He's stuck in no man's land, right? He's not guarding Fournier or Tatum, and that's the worst situation you can be caught in right there. And again, you see the confusion by Russell Westbrook. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what his teammates are doing. And this is all, look, there's still 8 minutes left in the third. All of these mistakes and good plays by Boston were happening in the first 4 minutes. And, the third quarter started very close. 4 minutes into the game, the lead is now ballooned to double digits. Some of it's also personnel, right? Because Tatum, admittedly, he presents a matchup nightmare at times if you don't have the right personnel. And the Wizards, they don't really have a lot of good defensive wings. Their point guard, whether it's their starters or their bench, they're all very small. Raul Neto and Ish Smith, they try hard, but they're just small. Bradley Beal, solid defender when he's engaged, but he's also injured. Russell Westbrook, same thing. When he's engaged, he can be a solid defender. Not the defender either of those guys used to be, but he's also banged up. And you just don't have a lot of 3-4 guys who are defensive minded on this Wizards team. They kind of went all out on the offense, and then their bigs are slower, guys like Bertans and Alex Len. Granted, Gafford is athletic, but he's still not quick enough to stay with Tatum. So you have a situation here where Bradley Beal, again, who is injured, has to be on Jayson Tatum. And this is just, there's not much he can do here. Really good pass by Marcus Smart. Good read. Good play by the Celtics. So Bradley Beal's another guy I'm a big fan of. I think he's a really talented, great offensive player, fun to watch. But these are the types of plays that separate the good to great players, and the same thing with good to great teams, right? And there's a reason Washington stumbled into the playoffs and barely made it. Again, I know Bradley Beal's dealing with a hamstring injury, but again, he was supposed to be on Jayson Tatum, right? Because you have Gafford here who's on Thompson, Russ is on Marcus Smart, and Ish Smith is on Kemba. So there's not even a miscommunication here. It's not like, there's cross matchups or anything, and it's not like there's too much going on. This is just him supposed to be getting back on defense, and Jayson Tatum is calling for the ball, right? He's getting ready to shoot the ball, and Bradley Beal is in no hurry to get back. And once he realizes it's too late, Jayson Tatum at his height and release point, that's not even a contest. So you have plays like this where it's kind of just mind-boggling. Again, I get you're injured, but if you're going to be out there, you have to do more than that. So this ends up being a tough shot for Tatum, but again, you see how easy they switch. And at a certain point, it almost doesn't matter if they switch or not because, like I said, there's no one on the Wizards that can really shut down or even contain Tatum to begin with. It'd be different if instead of Bradley Beal, let's say defensively, it was a guy like Matisse Thybulle. Then you don't want too much switching. And at a certain point, I think Washington just said, all right, look, it doesn't matter who we put on him. We might as well switch just so, we can have guys on shooters and we don't leave too many guys open. Of course, it's too late now. Tatum's taking advantage of mismatches. Guys like Kemba Walker, even guys like Nesmith were hitting shots from the outside anyway. So they were getting whatever they wanted, right? And now, granted, Washington's still within 8 and they're kind of scoring, but again, their shots were a lot harder. It's a really tough position for Washington to be in. Ish Smith again here tries to take away airspace. Tatum thought he was fouled, and it doesn't matter. You let a guy like that catch fire, he's going to hit tough shots like that. But yes, I just wanted to take a quick look at the third quarter. It wasn't pretty for Washington. Most of the night wasn't. Now, I also wanted to talk real quick because I know people were talking about how Jayson Tatum's 50-point game was a sign of, or like shows why the playing games were good for the fans. Again, I'm not a fan of the playing games. I think it's dumb to play 72 or close to, or like a whole regular season to decide seeding just to play 4 more at the end of the season to solidify it. Yes, Jayson Tatum put on a 50-point game. It was historic. It was really fun to watch. Insane performance. But the thing is, neither of those games, the Hornets Pacers game or the Wizards Celtics games, were really that close. Like this game was kind of out of hand in the fourth, and the other game, the Hornets Pacers one, was even worse. Now we'll see what happens tonight in the two Western Conference playing games. You have the Lakers Warriors, which I'm pretty excited about. Probably the most hyped up playing game out of all 4 of the games. Then you also have the Spurs Grizzlies, a lot less of a marquee matchup, but still should be a close game. So we'll see how those go. But yeah, I mean, not a good look for the Wizards. They are banged up, so there's that. But Tatum, really great performance. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Saw a little bit of why Washington really struggled defensively and why Boston was able to get so many good looks. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment. We'll be back with another video on Friday. Also, follow us on our social media pages. Links will be in the description below. But until then, peace.